Hey guys, what is up? Here to be another movie review this time for the final installment in the Hunger Games franchise. Mockingjay, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, final finale. Holy shit. 3 years have passed. Time's flown by. It's directed by Francis Lawrence, written by Danny Strong and Peter Craig. Now I know it says, I think it also said adaptation by Susan Collins. I don't know what exactly that means, but it just said that. It stars Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrelson, Donald Sutherland, Philip Seymour Hoffman in his last role. Rest in peace. Julianne Moore, Will Shields, Sam Claflin, Elizabeth Banks, Jenna Malone, Jeffrey Wright, Stanley Tucci, Natalie Dormer, Gwendolyn Christie, huh? She was also in Force Awakens. Should have been out. Man, I've been out for a while, haven't I? Yeah, this is the finale. Basically, it's set after the events of Mockingjay Part 1. And, yeah. Basically, there's a war against Panem in the capital. And there's a bit of destruction there. The capital, the resistance tries to help, get some get more resistance fighters. While also when they try to get into storm the capital, they have to deal with some booby traps. They also have to deal with a couple of issues. I mean, at the end of Mockingjay Part 1, Peeta was basically brainwashed by the Capitol. Basically finds Katniss a threat and will attack her and even try to kill her. And so, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. And also, a lot of dark shit happens, and the darkest installment in the entire Hunger Games franchise is born. Now, when it comes to the franchise, I won't deny this is one of the best young adult franchises that come around. I did not see any of them when they came out in theaters except this one. This is the one I've only seen in theaters, and it's kind of really sad. But I did see the franchise. I just started with Mockingjay Part 1. I don't know why I did. Then I saw 1 and 2. Hunger Games is really good. The only issues I have with it are really some shaky cam. The creatures that were chasing after Peeta and Katniss were the special effects were kind of a little bit questionable. They just really weren't that good. They're not horrible. They just were a little bit too polished. It also Josh Hutcherson was kind of not that great of a performer. Had a good performance, don't get me wrong, but his character wasn't that great. Catching Fire, I absolutely loved. It was the true high point of the franchise. Really much darker and grittier. Better action, better special effects. Performances were still great. They even improved some performances. They introduced some new characters. They also fleshed out more of the elements of the universe of Hunger Games, expanded it a bit more, like the more political side of it, and I thought it was handled very well. Loved it. Mockingjay Part 1 was a creative decline. Now, I don't know if in my video review I gave it like a 4 out of 5, maybe I did, but it's kind of going down to like a 3.5, maybe like a 3 out of 5. All I know is it's not a 2.5 out of 5. Maybe it's being a bit nice, but you know, whatever, it's my opinion. I enjoyed it, no matter what. The biggest problem I have with that film is it was unnecessarily split into 2 films. Mostly that's only done just to make more money. And I find that shameless. The problem is you just can't work it that well. Mostly because the book is just too short to make into 2 films. It just didn't work at all. It just wasn't necessary. Mockingjay Part 2, without a doubt, I was really excited for it, but I was still a little skeptical for some reason. I don't know what it was, and I can never really figure it out. But I won't deny this. It's a good installment of the franchise. I thought overall it was, and while not perfect and not even close to being as good as the first 2, it's still a satisfying conclusion of the franchise. It's better than Mockingjay Part 1 without a doubt. What works for it are the performances as well. Jennifer Lawrence is fantastic as Katniss. She's a great female action heroine. I still like Furiosa the best of this entire decade, obviously. But she's great. She's very compassionate. She's a character with a lot of compassion, a lot of concern for the people she's around. She's also great in the action scenes. She's great she's very talented with the bow and arrow. She can really do well. And I just thought it worked very, and she was very good. Josh Hutcherson, this is really more. He gets a lot more focus here. He gets very fleshed out his character, and I love the development he and his character got. And I thought it was handled. I mean, he was really good. I mean, just seeing all the stuff that happens with him and his character is just really, it's very emotional. It's very emotional. I won't deny it. I was invested. Liam Hemsworth as Gale, he's really good. No one gives a bad performance in these movies. He's really good as well. He's getting the action scenes. He's a well-built character. Sam Claflin, undeniably one of my favorite characters in the franchise. I still loved him. Good personality, and he's very entertaining. Without a doubt. Also, he's just such a great character. Jenna Maloney thinks what it is. She just has a very bizarre personality. She's kind of crazy, though I won't deny that. I did like her. She has this twisted personality that for some reason is kind of... I don't know. There's just something behind that I like about the character. Weird, I guess you can say. Willow Shields is really good as Prim. It's really... she's good. I mean, I'm just pointing out so many people. Julianne Moore is great as President Coin. She's really good. Yeah. Philip Seymour Hoffman, this is a good performance to go out on. It could have been a bad performance and I would have fallen myself out a window or something like that. I don't know. It would piss me off without a doubt. But, he's good here. He does a good job. It could have been, maybe not the best film to go out on, but, it's better than nothing. Does that make sense? I don't know what I'm doing there. The special effects are also really good, without a doubt. Nothing really amazing, but, they do their job. They work. They're good. It is very gritty and very unflinched. It's very dark and doesn't really... And it'll go pretty far sometimes in terms of all the chaos, of the stuff that takes place. It doesn't really It's a little bit unrelenting or something like that, and I thought it was handled very, very well. I really was impressed with it. It was really handled well. They weren't afraid to go dark. It really kind of offers up a lot more with the PG-13 rating could usually restrict, and it did the best it could do. Yeah. The action scenes are good, and there's some good action scenes. Also some good suspense, good tension in there. Especially this one with these things called mutts. I don't know if it was if it was if they were done with CGI or practical effects or even a combination or costumes or a combination of the two. All I know is it worked well. Maybe in fact you can't tell if it's CGI or not. It's probably the best thing about it. They look good. They're also pretty scary and terrifying. The film is sometimes just sometimes it's very tense. I swear to God, it almost kind of reminds me a bit of a horror film or something like that. At some points, especially during that scene with the mutts that chasing through the sewers, it really was kind of a little disturbing. Terrifying? No, it's rated PG-13. It's not rated R, for God's sake. There's a lot of good suspense in there. I sometimes was just on the edge of my seat thinking, oh my God, is something going to be popped out? Because it feels like a horror film setting, almost kind of like Alien or Aliens or something like that. You know what I'm the one with the mutts. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I mean, Donald Sutherland's still a good villain. I really do like him. Though, to be honest, I think he was probably at his best in Catching Fire. My parents, my sister's boyfriend are going crazy over football. I'm not a football guy. I'm not a fan of the sport. I'm not a fan of sports in general. But I'll tell you, yeah. The action scenes are good. There's a lot of good suspense and tension, like I already said. Good production, as you can say. You can say I'm running out of things to say that are positive about it, but I won't deny that it is... There's some aspects of the ending that I kind of liked. I mean, the ending isn't 100% perfect. Also, the song that played during the credits, I liked it. And, while it's not perfect, I still thought it was a good goodbye, and it had some good emotion there, good drama. But there are problems I have with it. This ain't a perfect movie, like I said. The pacing is a bit of a problem at times. Sometimes it'll be a little bit too slow. Well, I didn't exactly feel that a lot. There are times where you can say it feels a little too slow. There are times where the pacing, here's a problem with Mockingjay Part 1. It moved a little too slowly. The dialogue scenes just couldn't help propel the plot along that much. It was just way too slow. Too much setup. Too much filler. And this one doesn't have a lot of filler. There's a lot more action. Thus, you're not going to be really bored with it, probably. but not everything worked with for me. There is a love triangle there, obviously, and they kind of almost like someone talk about that, and I thought that was kind of stupid. I just felt like it's kind of you're adapting to these trends rather than subverting them. It's a small thing, but there was one scene kind of devoted to that, and that was kind of dumb. I don't know. I didn't care. I know some people would be crazy, be pissed off by who she ends up with, but you also gotta understand it makes sense. The way that her choice makes sense in the context of the story. So I'll probably be throwing contradictions at you as to think why probably saying my reason as to why. Why I fly contradictions at you? No, because I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb though. I don't really care. That wasn't really the point of the franchise. That was just such a small thing that people complain about. I feel like that's just teenage girls will complain about. It's like, oh, romance is the only thing that matters in these franchises. Oh, hell no, it doesn't. God damn. It is very dark and very dark at times, and it almost feels like it's hopeless at times. And there's not a lot of humor there. Woody Harrelson does have a few humorous moments, and I won't deny they are pretty funny, but it doesn't always work for me. No, actually, I'm lying. His humor's pretty good, but he's not in the film that much. There are a few characters that are underused, and I felt there were some story arcs that concluded rather abruptly or didn't really have any real conclusion to them, such as Haymitch's, Effie's, and Gale's particularly. Now you could say really like, well, what about some other people? Well, I thought some of them were closed off kind of well, but there were some that were kind of bad. I know there are going to be some deaths that will piss off some people, and I kind of feel like I didn't kind of want that to happen, but I will give the film that for not being afraid to go far. So I'll give it that. So I'm kind of like a bit, you can say I'm a bit like, almost like a bit mixed on that. I mean, I won't deny the film will go pretty far on there, and I thought maybe it'll do something. I kind of held it kind of, was a good, it kind of, I thought it worked well. It wasn't horribly handled. It just, you just don't want to always think that. I don't know. There is this twist, and there is kind of like, I guess you could say like this twist, I guess you could say, involving like Julianne Moore that, I don't know, it didn't 100% work for me. Mostly because maybe I watched Mockingjay Part 1 again, but to be honest, I didn't really remember the character that, I don't know. For me, it didn't completely work, and I think the film took a little too long to end. Some people are saying, oh, it took forever to end, it's like Return of the King. Or like I think I heard two people say that, and I feel like I don't completely feel that, because I mean, it kind of felt a little long, especially like near the later parts of the film, like certain parts of the ending were not 100%, didn't feel like Return of the King to me. Then it did feel they felt like it was taking a little bit of time to end. Though I won't deny it wasn't a terrible ending. I thought it was satisfying, but yeah, this ain't perfect film at all. But I won't deny that overall I was satisfied with it. This is a satisfying ending to the series. Good drama, good action, great acting. It's not afraid to go dark, not afraid to be. It doesn't really flinch at stuff like that. It does its best with what the PG-13 rating can allow, and there are some scenes that let me scared like that. Oil or something like that oil pool or whatever the hell. Man, that was a little bit scary. The mutts chasing after them. Yeesh. The action was pretty good though, I won't deny that. Yeah. It's a not everything worked for me, but I do think more things worked. There were more things that did work for me than didn't. I'm going to give Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 a 3.5 out of 5. It isn't perfect, like I said, but you know what? It's a satisfying ending to the franchise, and, it could have been much worse. But it also could have been much better, but I won't deny it's still a good movie. Anyways, guys, comment below. What did you think about Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2? What is your favorite? What did you think it was a satisfying ending to the series, or do you think it was a disappointment? What is your favorite Hunger Games film? Mine is Catching Fire. What is your least favorite? Mine is Mockingjay Part 1. And I heard they're trying to do like some prequels. Do you want that? Because I don't really want that. Because I think the series has already told a good enough story. And backstory doesn't exactly need to be told. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I don't really want it. That's just me though. And do you think there'll be another great young adult franchise? I'm hoping. Because Harry Potter, Hunger Games, what else is there? Do they have more to offer? Because maybe I'd like to see more as well, even though it is a trend I'm getting a little tired of. Though, there are times where it does work. and I'd see more. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope, if you've seen the film, hope you enjoyed it. And subscribe to my channel for more videos.